We got the President-elect's transition team signed by Valerie Jarrett. And by the way, Valerie Jarrett was born in Iran, another foreign national. Both parents are American citizens, so she has like a dual citizenship. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, go to China. You tell China you want an American to serve in the Chinese government. They'll tell you, excuse me? Go to Japan and tell them you want an American to serve over there. What do you think they're going to tell you? Oh yeah, by the way, go to Russia. Ask Putin if you want to put an American in there. What is he going to tell you? Get out of here!
It's like, yeah.
Right, exactly. Right? Truth be told. Bill Clinton. Hillary Clinton. Oh yeah, Cheryl Mills. Everybody know Cheryl Mills is?
Yeah.
Who's she?
She's her lying lawyer.
Well, who is she?
The Clinton lawyer.
Cheryl Mills is the chief of staff of the Hillary Clinton State Department. She sits on the. She sits on the Clinton Foundation.
She's a blatant liar.
That's right. Oh yeah. Anybody hear of Huma Abedin?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Huma Abedin.
Muslim brotherhood.
She sits on the foundation too. Well, she's a consultant.
And she's also got ties to the Muslim Brotherhood.
Yeah, but that Muslim Brotherhood is a you know, that's a quasi organization. We can talk about that another time. So we got that, right? And then we got this State Department. Now, we got Hillary, we got Cheryl Mills, and we got Huma Abedin. Okay, so now, right now, all intents and purposes, we got a legal president. So this basically is not a legal entity.
Chelsea.
This is, well, Chelsea's, I don't want to bring in the daughter. But basically, right now, this is a legal entity. We got basically, according to, thank God for Judicial Watch, I want to say, first of all, Judicial Watch is one of my sources. FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. They got all this information from the State Department. Amazing organization, okay? Now, this conceivably, based on the fact that, on my take on it, this is a food for thought. This is, I believe, it's statistically significant. That Bob is a legal president, therefore this whole entity is not legal. And based on the, because I'm taking this deep, I'm taking this deep. So this is.
So how come you're skipping over Holder?
Nah, forget Holder. We don't need Holder. This is enough. This is enough. Holder's a Fugazi socialist, right? He just took a $77 million job.
But he's part of the same criminal enterprise.
Yeah, he is. He's the cover. He's the cover-up. But that, I don't want to cloud it up because the more we focus, there's a lot here. I'm going to show you in a minute. I just want to get to the, because I'm bringing in, this is a Title 18, I don't know if it's a criminal RICO or civil RICO, but I'm going to show you a criminal enterprise. And it's crazy, okay?
How about civilians?
Who?
Civilians. Another criminal.
But, so what about?
Healthcare.
Oh, yeah, okay, but we don't want to bring that all in because I'm bringing something in now that's pretty, but you're right, 100%. Okay, now, there's another part to this. The Iranian government. Okay, good now. All right. That's right. Okay, now. Everybody get it? I'm streamlining this. Okay? I'm streamlining.
Bad boy.
We're streamlining this.
It's a bad boy.
Okay. $105,000 went into the Clinton Foundation from the Levy Foundation. A Levy Foundation, now I'm going to give you the background. The Levy Foundation, Asset Corporation, and Bank Melli of Iran, the biggest bank in Iran, gave the Clinton Foundation $105,000. Clintons go, oh, charity. Right? Charity. From one foundation to another. We're good. Yeah, okay. Guess what? Everybody hear of Pratt? I always mispronounce his name. District Attorney of the Southern District. What a guy. Got the Assembly, he's a Democrat? Wow. Got Assemblyman Sheldon Silver out in handcuffs.
Yeah.
This guy's a bad dude. He's a bad dude. Okay. So now we got, you know, like I say in my show, a tree grows in Brooklyn, a skyscraper is resurrected in Manhattan. 650 Fifth Avenue. Frankie Russo, what the hell are you talking about now? 650 Fifth Avenue. Would you believe it? 53rd Street and Fifth Avenue would be so significant? I'm like, this is crazy, you know? A building in Brooklyn. The Shah of Iran got exiled in the 70s. And on my show, I call Obama the Shore of Iran, and it's funny because now I got it right there. He's there. You know, the Shore of Iran is there. 650 Fifth Avenue was owned by the Shore. As we know, he got exiled. The Iranian mullahs took it over, right? When the Iranian mullahs took it over, they had this Persian foundation. Honestly, I just can't pronounce the name. It's such a big Persian name, but they had to change the name because it was going to bring, because it's a big name in Iran, and a lot of them weapons of mass destruction are under this foundation. So the 650 Fifth Avenue building was going to be owned by the New York chapter of this Persian foundation. So they changed it, and they came up with, through the years, the mullahs came up with the Alevi Foundation, the Assa Corporation, and Bank Milli of Iran. It's owned by 650 Fifth Avenue. And our good friend, Bahar, the district attorney of the Southern District, Bahar, PB, the district attorney, that's great. District attorney of the Southern District, PB, came up with a complaint with the Justice Department, Treasury Department, and the FBI. Okay, they came up with they've been surveilling this entity, Alevi Foundation, Assa Corporation, and Bank Milli of Iran. They came up with that they're front organizations, that these are not who they say they are. They're the Iranian government. It was such a compelling case. This is what I mean by statistical significance. It was such a compelling case that Judge Catherine Forrest ruled in PB, the district attorney of the Southern District's favor. So badly that, see 650 Fifth Avenue, we're talking about seizing of property. They also own the Shore, they also own 4 mosques. So they seized their mosques in the 650 Fifth Avenue building. They forfeited over, according to the judgment, to the families of the victims of September 11, 2001, and to the families of the Marines that were killed in the Beirut bombing in the 1980s. This is big time stuff. This is statistically significant. There's no getting around this. You got court papers, you got a judge's decision, bam, right? But what about the $105,000 that went to the Clinton Foundation? Is that really for, come on now, is that really for what they say it's for? Come on now, charitable donations?
No.
Depends on the charity. It's a charity.
Alevi Foundation gives them $105,000.
Really?
Iranian government has been a state sponsor of terrorists since 1984. Why isn't this a problem? Why?
It is a problem. But that's
Frankie Russo, you're crazy. Saudi Arabia gave them 25 million. This is only, it doesn't matter. This is how they streamline the money. This is how they connect everybody. So now it gets crazy. This thing gets crazy. This thing gets crazy now. I'm gonna pull it up. I just gotta pull it up.
They took almost as much money from George Stephanopoulos.
There you go. I'm pulling it up. I'm pulling it up. I got
So they're buying off the media too.
I just want to get the.
Absolutely.
I want to get this because I'm thinking like. So now, just to recap, the first question that came to my head was, why did Barack Obama, first of all, allow the Clinton Foundation to have a chokehold on the State Department? Because that's supposed to be doing security, American security business, the people's business. Why did they have a chokehold? This memorandum of understanding, conflicts of interest, we're going to narrow the scope. We know that they violated the agreement. We don't know that. Right, so we all know this all baloney, it's all facade.
We did the memorandum
So,
just to try to say.
But why did he do this? We know what he did with the 511. That's to keep the conversation on the birth certificate. So why do you think Obama did this?
The crook.
He's an OG, absolutely, gangster. Absolutely. Absolutely! That's a great money. Okay, first thing I found out,
World domination?
Obama's campaign
Yeah.
twice got fined $375,000 by the FCC, Federal Elections Commission. Really? For Obama, he raised billions.
Yeah.
So that's like an American Express bill.
Yeah.
You know? Pay that thing right away. Right? So, I believe that Obama allowed this to happen. Because Obama likes to get like 5 bites at the apple when he's an OG. When he does something, he's probably got, Valerie Jarrett there, he's got Cheryl Mills there, he's got Rosa Jackson, she's from the Obama administration. So conceivably, he's got a pipeline, some Cayman Island account under the son lawyer's name, and there's too much money for these cats to let this go. For him to come in, the Clinton Foundation's got a chokehold. The Judicial Watch raised a great point. They said, how are they doing people's business when they got to worry about the conflicts of interest of the State Department?
And she fast-tracked multiple different
It's crazy.
Business with the federal government through the State Department after they conveniently gave the foundation, you know,
There you go.
millions and
There you go. So basically, this is the Clinton Foundation State Department.
Yeah.
So that's why I believe that Obama did what he did. Because now, nobody's talking about Barack Obama because he's yet to disclose, quite frankly, if anybody's right, he's yet to disclose foreign donations from his presidential campaigns. It's crazy, right? Is that an OG or what? That's crazy. That's OG right there.
Oh, he's busted up Somalians here.
That's nuts.
From one
He raised billions. He said, give him the 375. You're not going to know where I got this money from.
That's
Crazy, right? Now. But what racking my brain, why do you think this Alevi Foundation, this Asa Corporation, this Bank Millie, which was deemed by PB, the district attorney's complaint, and the justice, the judge, Catherine Forrest, why do we believe this to be? It's a terrorist entity. They froze the asset, they took the property. Why did they give the money to the Clinton Foundation? So I did a little thinking, I pressed a few buttons, and I came up with,
Is this before or after?
Came up with the official scope of the change.
they gave them the money in 2000,
This company, that was such a.
2008. From 2006 to 2008, they gave them $105,000. So it was bad for them. They knew. Bro, it's deep. This is crazy. I'm just going to pull this one off. Now, I checked. I checked out the Clinton. I checked out the Clinton Foundation. Okay, the Clinton administration, President Clinton. Now, this is nuts. This guy is, you know, in this regard, Obama would like this stuff that he did. Obama would love it. In October 21st, 1998, he signed this bill. It's called Section 117. I have it here. Section 117, where families, like we talked about, families of the victims of terror attacks will be able to, it's the understanding that a lot of these rogue states they're able to keep their assets out of U.S. jurisdiction. So we sanction them, we block them, and a lot of these rogue regimes are able to keep it out of U.S. jurisdiction. So Bill Clinton and the United States Congress came up with a bill that would enable the families of these unfortunate events to be able to at least get some sort of recourse and able to get some money from these blocked assets. So, for example, there was a gentleman, his name is Sidney Flatow. His daughter got killed in the Gaza. Stephen Flatow. There it is. You may correct me. Stephen Flatow. His daughter got whacked in the Gaza unfortunate event in the Gaza situation, and he took it to court and won like a reward of something of $200-something million. He had nowhere to go to get the money. So they came up with this bill. This was in October 21st, 1998, and Clinton signed it with the United States Congress, where he'd be able to get recovery on the damages of the killing of his daughter, unfortunate event, right? That same day, Bill Clinton had President Determination 99-1. That's why Obama will love this guy. Determination 99-1. This is what he said. He said, I hereby waive the requirements of Section 117 on the grounds of national security. So now, on one swoop of the pen, on the bill, he said that this is for the American people whose families are involved in these terrorist attacks will be able to get recovery. And on one swoop of the pen, on his executive order, he says, well, I'm waiving the requirement of 17 on the grounds of national security. They call this presidential fiat or whatever, which I don't understand. Basically, it has to do with more, basically, it's his play. It's what he gets out of it. But honestly, that's one reason why, because the argument goes into the fact that he's, at the time, this is the end of his term, and at the time, he's trying to do what Obama's trying to do, what people want to say, make a legacy, which I don't believe. Obviously, it's not true, because he has Clinton Foundation and all that money, so it's basically like Hillary Clinton was running a rogue intelligence agency. It's been rumored, it hasn't been statistically significant. With that server, we could say that the Clinton Foundation, Bill Clinton, when he got out of office, he had a Winnebago, and he was running a presidential situation, right? So one aspect, one reason why maybe, I don't know if this is statistically significant, but one reason why maybe could be that he's trying to help the Iranian government get around and avoid the sanctions, right? Now, we got two other avenues that I found so far. There's more, because I'm adding to this. There's Executive Order 13224, W. Bush, claiming that it's illegal to take contributions from terrorist entities. It's a violation, and it's prohibited, basically, in a nutshell. That's basically any entity making contributions, helping, here's another one, within that executive order, aiding and helping them avoid the sanctions. According to the executive order by W. Bush, 13224, that's in play. So still, I still don't understand why the Alevi Foundation gave $105,000 to the Clinton Foundation. And then it gets crazier, because this is where I'm at with this thing. Then it gets crazier. The Alevi Foundation that comes out based on Rachel Effenfeld, the president of the American Center for Democracy, and based on some court papers that I'm still looking at, a past court case back in 2003, that the Alevi Foundation, which is part of that terrorist entity that was deemed by Preet Bharara, and the courts came down on it, they own part of the 65th, I talked about it, 55th Avenue. They gave $104 million to the Blind Sheikh's Mosque. In the late 80s, one said the late 80s, one said 1997. Well, 1.4 million. So this is like another piece, because I have, when I'm done with this discussion, I have the Obama administration in the Blind Sheikh's Mosque, which is the Al Farouk Mosque in Atlantic Avenue, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So now we have this trail from the White House to the Clinton Foundation, which I think is if I'm not mistaken, where is that house? I forgot the address. The Clinton Foundation, I think it's either in DC or in we have them in
I'm not sure where that headquarters is.
in the Blind Sheik's Mosque. Everybody know who the Blind Sheik is, right? The mastermind for the bombing
The
of
guy with the Santa Claus.
1993.
Yeah.
Well, it came out the new sheik in 2003 now. We got them going to Yemen. In 2003, the new sheik got busted in front of a jury. This is court papers. In front of a jury, they ruled in favor of the prosecution. $20 million funneling from the Blind Sheikh's Mosque to the Al-Qaeda, and $4 million going to Hamas. So this is the same group that the Clinton Foundation took $105,000. This is where I'm at with this one. To me, it's statistically significant. It's real. There's no debating it. It went through the smell test with the courts, and nobody wants to talk about it because it is what it is.
It's not a great violation of federal law.
Yeah, I mean, the executive order, and then there's also, that's right, because with the RICO, I didn't go through the FBI RICO because the RICO talks about bribery, talks about money laundering, which what they were doing with they were taking money from the building. This is the Alevi Foundation, that's the corporation of Bank Millie, that first one, taking the money, funneling it through this terrorist entity and giving it to the Iranian government. Previes and the district attorney of Southern District had such a great case. Catherine Forrest ruled in favor, without doubt, for them. This is prior to the $1.4 million from the Alevi Foundation that went to this group. So it's like, it's a very compelling case. I just don't understand, I'm still grappling with